Hello everyone and welcome to another guide for Starfield. I'm your host, Colors Fade. In this guide, I'll be showing you how to capture enemy ships. I've seen a lot of confusion around this topic, so I thought I'd throw together a quick guide to show you everything you need to know. The first source of confusion I've seen about this is the EM weapons, the EMP weapons. If you watch my shipbuilding guide, then you know that as a result of the free Star Ranger questline, you'll be rewarded with the Star Eagle, which comes with two very nice EM weapons. Now, the way the EM weapons work is they bypass shields entirely and allow you to take out components without doing damage to the enemy ship. However, in order to target specific components, you'll first need at least 1 point in the targeting control system skill. This is what allows you to specifically target the engines of any enemy ship with your EM weapons. How this works is just like shooting missiles. You need to keep the enemy ship inside the large circle on your HUD. This allows your ship's targeting system to acquire a lock. Once you acquire a lock, you can start targeting specific systems on the ship. On the PC, you do this with the R key. You want to use the A and D keys to quickly cycle through the available components and target the engines, and then fire your EM weapon. You'll notice as I slow down this footage, the EM weapon does no damage to the shield or the hull. It's completely ignoring the shield and instead doing disabling damage to the engines. You'll also notice a bar here for how damaged the engines are. Now, whether this is a bug or not, it appears that you do not need to completely disable the engines because, as you can see here, once you're close enough, the option to board the ship just appears. On PC, press and hold the R key to begin boarding the enemy ship. Now we get to the fun part. Take down all the enemies on the ship and you'll get the notification to either abandon it or take it over. However, you will not be able to fly the ship if its class is higher than your piloting skill allows. Ships in Starfield come in 3 classes, with A being the lowest and C being the highest. If your piloting skill only allows you to pilot A-class ships, but you captured a B-class ship instead, the only thing you can do is abandon the ship. At that point, you might as well blow it up and grab the salvage. But assuming you have a high enough skill to actually pilot the captured vessel, we need to handle one other bit of business before we take off, and that is to find the contraband and get rid of it. Every enemy ship will have 1 or 2 pieces of contraband aboard, and it is for this reason that I recommend making a hard save before you try to fly the ship to a spaceport, because if you miss the contraband, you will be scanned and attacked by the authorities. And if you think there's no contraband on board, let me assure you there is. You just didn't look hard enough. So, we know there's contraband on board, but how do we get rid of it? This is a very simple, if not entirely straightforward process. What you need to do, if you don't intend to keep the contraband and sell it somewhere like the Wolf system, is jettison it from the ship. However, you don't want to try to do this with the captured ship because if you're like me, your home ship probably has a bigger cargo hold and it's probably loaded with supplies, which means that once you switch to this new ship, the cargo hold will be overflowing with all the goods from your home ship, preventing you from adding any new contraband to the cargo hold. But we can get around this problem fairly quickly by adding it to our home ship's cargo instead, and we can do all of that without moving an inch. First, grab the contraband, which puts it in your character's inventory. Then bring up the character menu. From here, access your ship, and on the PC, press the F key to bring up the ship's cargo hold. This is the important part to note. You can actually always access your ship's cargo hold this way through the character menu, as long as you're within about 500 meters of your ship. Now, on the PC, press the Q key to toggle back to your character inventory. What we're going to do here is find the contraband we picked up and store it in our home ship's cargo hold. Once you find the contraband, press E to store it on your ship. Then hit Q to toggle back to your ship's inventory. Find the contraband again and press the B key to jettison it into space. Voila, the contraband is gone and you will now be able to safely fly your new ship to any port to either sell it or modify it. Now, as far as selling ships goes, this is not an entirely profitable endeavor, as I'll show you here. In order to sell your new ship, you need to do 2 things. First, you can't sell your home ship, and once you arrived in a new system with this new ship, it became your home ship. So you need to go to the modify screen of the shipbuilder and change your home ship back to your old ship. Then you need to ask the technician if you can look at new ships to buy. From here, you can hit the R key to sell any of your other ships that you own other than your home ship. Here we can see our new ship, But we can't sell it like we can our other ships, and that's because we first have to register it, and that's going to cost us a pretty penny. In fact, it's going to cost us nearly as much as the value of the ship. So we'll register our ship by pressing the enter key, and this will cost us almost 20k. Then we can sell it for a measly 23.4k for a net total profit of about 4,000 credits. So while you can make a tiny bit of money by capturing enemy ships, that's not really the reason to do that. The real reason to capture enemy ships is to get a ship that you really want to either fly yourself or modify into something else. And of course, the other reason to board these ships like this is because occasionally you can loot a legendary weapon from them. So that's it, folks. The quick and dirty guide for capturing enemy ships. I hope that made sense and it helped you in your own endeavors to capture ships. If you found the guide useful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave questions and comments down below. I will see you next time, and until then, happy gaming, everyone.